Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we are looking at Elastic Beanstalk, which you can use to quickly deploy and manage web applications on AWS without worrying about the underlying infrastructure. And this is a platform as a service, which we'll talk about here shortly. So to understand Elastic Beanstalk, we're going to need to know what a platform as a service is, or a PaaS. And that is a platform allowing customers to develop, run, and manage applications without the complexity of building and maintaining the infrastructure typically associated with developing and launching an app. So that's exactly what Elastic Beanstalk does. You upload your code and everything just runs. If you want to think of a similar service to Elastic Beanstalk, I would say think of Elastic Beanstalk as the Heroku for AWS. And the way we abbreviate Elastic Beanstalk is with EB. So yeah, there you go. So the idea is you choose the platform, you upload your code, and it runs with little knowledge of the underlying infrastructure. In Elastic Beanstalk, if you read the documentations on AWS, they'll say it's not recommended for production applications. But what does AWS mean by that? Because I know a lot of startups and sizable companies that run their production workloads on Elastic Beanstalk. So they're talking to enterprise and large companies. You have to understand that AWS is a very large company. And so their clients can be like mega corporations or governments, and they'll think, okay, I'm going to run my my infrastructure on Beanstalk, but it's just not the use case. So just take that with a grain of salt that you can run production applications, but AWS is just warning large companies not to rely on it. So Elastic Beanstalk is powered by CloudFormation templates. So when you spin up an Elastic Beanstalk environment, that's what it's doing. It's just a very fancy CloudFormation template with a really fancy UI. So if you go over to the CloudFormation console, you can actually see what it's provisioned, and you can go try to read through that CloudFormation template. It's very complicated, but it's just interesting to see what it's doing there. And so Elastic Beanstalk can set up things such as Elastic Load Balancer, auto scaling groups, RDS database, and it comes with pre-configured EC2 instances. And this is the big list of it. So you can see you can do Docker, multi-container Docker, you have Go, Java, Ruby, etc. And generally, these pre-configured platforms come with the common technology you need to run certain frameworks. So if you're using Ruby, it's going to be able to run Rails, etc. Then you have monitoring. So it has CloudWatch and SNS integrated into its dashboard, which is really nice. It has in-place and blue-green deployment methodologies. So you don't have to go out and build a complex code pipeline, which you could spend weeks doing, so it already has it for you there. It can rotate out your passwords for RDS, so it keeps things very secure, and it can run Dockerized environments. So if you are employing microservices, you can definitely use Elastic Beanstalk as your gateway to Elastic Container Services, which is what it uses under the hood to run Docker containers.